Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. So, last time we found Merwald. We found the Old Watcher in Caed Nua, and we had to kill him. So that was very unfortunate. We do have to talk to Kana about it. We also need to level up, but first things first, we also got a new Grimoire for Aloth. So, let's have a look in this. Merwald's Grimoire. So he knew Spirit Shield, he knew Thrust of Tattered Veils, Quick Strike of Crushing Force. Okay. He knew Con Assault's Corrosive Siphon. You're right. And he also knew Bulwark against the elements. I don't really want any of those right now. I mean, it would probably be good to learn them at some point, maybe. But I think we'll just keep them in the Grimoire for just now. And we'll carry the Grimoire around with us. Okay. Let's talk to Kana.
Poor Merwald. He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
I don't think knowledge was the problem. He said that if I can find out what caused this, it might help me. That is true, and there's no such thing in my experience as too much knowledge. Kana smiles. Come, we'll find your answers, and mine, I hope. Okay, he was the only one who desperately needed to speak to us, so I think we're going to level up now. Eder? We're going to go for an Eder. Now, survival would give him increased bonus versus flanked enemies, which is not good. And athletics would give him an increase in second wind. I think we take the increase in second wind. It gives him a little bit more endurance for that. And we can level up survival and maybe something else next time. Because we want to level up survival twice before it's any good at all. Like, before it becomes good again. Because if we go down to survival and get it to actually show, it would give us the next level of damage reduction, which would be good, pretty much. Or if we go into survival now, we could get that guaranteed next time. Actually, that sounds good. We'll do that. We'll get guaranteed next time. And he gets a whole bunch of stuff in this last unlock. He has to choose something. Defender is pretty good. It gives him an extra 2 enemies that he can engage. It does lower his deflection though. Now this is quite good because this means that instead of being able to engage 2 enemies, he's able to engage 4, which makes him a much more effective tank. Vigorous defense. This just once per encounter just gives him a ton of defenses. Definitely an option. Weapon specialization could be good. We could give him some, that just gives him extra damage. Not really what we're after, but it could be good. Confident aim makes grazes convert to hits. That's pretty good. Increases the minimum damage. Disciplined barrage. Intensely focuses on, gives him accuracy for 15 seconds or into the fray. Lunges in through the battle, pulling an enemy to immediate melee range, causing pierce damage and leaving them dazed. That could be interesting as well. It gives us a way to move enemies. I think Defender is something we need though, because we don't have a second tank, and we need him to be able to engage as much as possible. This makes him a better tank overall. Okay. Next one is Durance. Durance being our priest, of course. Lore could be a good one, although I think her lore might be high enough right now. What do we need? Maybe we want to go into survival for him. I don't know if that would be useful. Maybe we want to go into athletics to give him a better second wind. That's possible. Let's just give him a better second wind just now. Oh, and then he gets level 3 spells. That's really useful. What do we get here? Creates this large zone of divine shelter, granting allies a bonus to defenses. Okay. Nagging doubt in the faith of unbreakable faith causes enemies at lower attack and critical hit. Dire blessing increases chance we'd get a critical hit. Pillar of faith calls down a pillar of divine judgment, inflicting crush damage and knock down enemies in the area of effect. An actual attack, proper attack, that might be good. Prayer against resistance frees allies in the area of effect from perceived constraints, granting immunity to hobbled and struck afflictions. A better heal. Warding seal grants a magical seal that explodes in a burst of electrical energy when enemy comes into contact with it. Alright. And blesses allies with the aid of a sympathetic soul, increasing healing effect when their endurance is low. Okay. So it's got some interesting things. Don't know if any of them are particularly useful, but they're interesting. Aloth. For Aloth, I think lower is definitely where we go with him, because that's really the only one we're leveling, so that makes sense. Then we get level 3 spells, and we already have some level 3 spells, which is a nice part about this. So, and it means he can cast them. Arcane Dampener creates a nullifying field of antagonistic magical energy. So it suppresses good effects for the enemy. Okay. Oh, we can select 2. Okay. This one lowers attack speed of enemies in the area of effect. Okay. A Draining Touch. We don't really want a touch spell, but it's kind of the same as the previous level one, except it's, you know, a touch. We could, of course, select spells from the previous levels if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We could increase attack speed over draining his or her own endurance. So this one costs endurance. Yeah, to increase attack speed. Oh, for themselves. So this would be kind of if you were going for like a battle wizard. You give them a sword, you could use this, you could then go right in. Yeah, I never even thought about that as a concept for a wizard. That could be pretty cool. Expose vulnerabilities. This one reduces damage reduction, deflection, and concentration of enemies. Okay, good. Minor Blights. Creates a ball of energy in the caster's hand that can be thrown at an enemy, causing freeze, burn, corrode, or shock damage to anyone caught in the area of effect. Blights are continually replenished until the spell ends. So basically, it makes our weapon really good for a short time. Displaced Image. Causes the caster to appear visually displaced, increasing their deflection, reflect, and reflect for the duration. Okay. What's Bounding Missiles? 3 missiles that pierce through the target and leap to 2 additional targets each. That could be quite a nice damage effect. I like that one. Noxious Burst. Spews forth a poisonous cloud of foulness that causes corrode damage and leaves victims sickened. Sickened. Oh, I don't know why that's shaking. It has all attributes reduced by 1. Fortitude and will are reduced by 10. Okay. And Repulsive Visage, which does what? All nearby foes become terrified and sickened. Ooh. Interesting. What do we want? Well, we know we already have Fireball and one other that I can't remember. We probably want just something that's going to cause a... I don't know. I quite like the idea of the Bounding Missiles, and I quite like the idea of the Visage, so we'll take those. They seem good. Now we'll have a look at his Grimoire once again, now that we have a next level for him. We can have 4 third level spells charged at the same time, or like in our Grimoire. It's really useful. Can other Grimoires have more? No, they all seem to only be able to have 4. Okay. So what have we got? We've got Cackling Bolt. Caster becomes a living generator for a powerful bolt of electricity that streaks out in a straight line. Okay. Fireball, which we know. The Bounding Missiles, which we kind of already have worked out. And then the Repulsive Visage, which could be useful. So he's got kind of like 1 defensive and a couple of other ones. Now, does he also get more casts of his other spells? No, he gets the same number of casts. Okay.
Just say the word.
Time for us to level up. What are we going to go for? Mechanics. Yeah. Well, that was easy. Then we get a class unlock. So, Crippling Strike, which we looked at originally. We kind of know what that is. Reckless Assault lowers our deflection, increases our melee accuracy and melee damage. Could be useful. Escape, once per encounter, can increase our deflection and reflect. Oh, it dives us out of range as well. That could be very useful. Finishing Blow. Looks to finish off an injured opponent with precise deadly strike that increases the damage the less endurance the target has. Could be useful, but it's only twice per rest. So it could be really useful in a boss fight, perhaps. Riposte. The rogue looks for openings to counterattack in combat. Incoming melee attacks that have deflection or miss or graze have a chance of allowing a full attack riposte. Oh. So what's interesting about this is basically that's saying that melee attacks that target deflection, so just basically any real melee attack, and then if they miss or graze, this just gives us the chance to get a free attack, which is that's pretty good. Yeah, that's just fantastic. Actually, deep wounds. Expertise in the art of pain leads all pierce / crush damage caused by the rogue to also do raw damage over time. That could also be really good, especially as that would apply on our crossbow. I really like Riposte, but I think we're going to go for deep wounds. Now, the reason we're doing this is I think Riposte will be more useful later when we have a higher ability to dodge, like with attacks, because it seems like not a lot of attacks miss or graze as far as I can tell on us. So it sounds good, but we need to get them missing and grazing more. Like if we were to have, say, Riposte and Escape, we could then run back in with our extra deflection and get them to miss, then we get free attacks on them and then we kill them. Something like that. Or maybe if we have a talent that gives us some extra defenses like that, that could be really useful. But right now, deep wounds sounds fantastic. It's also just like straight up raw damage over time. So what's nice is it may look like not a lot of damage, but because it is it says per 3 seconds. Alright, so every 3 seconds it would do that for 12 seconds. So that'd be 4 times this. It'll do 12 damage over 12 seconds. But it will also, like, this isn't affected by any resistances or anything, so the damage reduction won't come in. So say like I seem to remember one of Aloth's spells, like his fire one does 25 to 30 damage. Now say they have a damage reduction of 10, that's only doing like 15 damage. This one itself will do 12 damage straight on, and it's an addition to the normal attack. Now it does take 12 seconds for it to actually go through, but also that's raised from base, so we must have a negative effect in that. But if we were to say switch our target every hit, that could work. Yeah, I like deep wounds. We'll take it. Then we have Canna. Canna, this close-up is not his best look. Lore again could be good. Maybe we want just something like athletics or survival. I don't know. Survival, anything we want from that other than the base? Not really. I guess maybe we might want the next level of damage reduction. Athletics could be really good though if we want to give him just a straight up heal for himself. Let's go survival and then try and get him up to the next level. Okay, and then he gets a new set of spells. Now these are phrases, but these are level 2 phrases. Now these, let me check duration and linger. So these ones were all the same. So these are 3.6 and then lingers 2.8. These ones take longer to cast, but stay on a little bit more. Generates a field of terror, frightening enemies in an area of effect. Okay. This one decreases the duration of and defends against frightened and terrified effects. Could be useful. This one, allies leave a hazardous trail of frost wherever they move, hobbling and causing freeze damage to enemies. Could be useful if you want to kite and run away. Decreases reload time, increases speed of all ranged attacks for all allies. Could be really useful if we want to start off a combat with that. In fact, I think we should take that one. Minus 10 accuracy against disengaging enemies. Again, these two together could be really nice to have like a disengage thing. I think this is going to be the most useful thing we could have right now. Yeah, we'll go with that. Done. And we need to set up new chants.
Following your lead.
So let's edit his chants. So let's think about what we need. Let's get rid of chant 2. Let's have one for like ranged and one for ranged attack and one for melee attack. Let's get rid of March of the Kimoa as well. So we'll start off with this for his ranged attack. We'll call this ranged. Ranged. There we go. So we'll start off with that. Decreases reload time, increases speed of all ranged attacks. Do you want it? We could do this more than once, though, couldn't we? We could just have that be the only thing you cast when that's on. Then, in B, which will be our melee, we'll start off with the one that emboldens our fortitude and will. Then our quick one. Actually, I think we want to start off with the one that we want to do piercing, fortitude, then then speed then. Actually, we maybe even want just that as our second chant. We'll call this melee. I completely forgot how to spell melee. Is that melee? That's melee, yes. Melee versus melee. And then this one down here, this one's going to be melee versus ranged. Actually, in this chant, we don't need the second half, because it will just restart. There we go. Melee versus, not specifically ranged, actually, magic. Because this one gives us fortitude. And then maybe we want, not those two. No. For D, we might want of enemies in the area of effect. Okay, so that wouldn't be useful. We don't need a D. I was thinking maybe if that wasn't enemies in the area of effect and that was just for allies, that could be useful as a thing to stop ranged attackers. But I think this works quite well as prepared chants. So we'd probably want to start off in ranged nearly always.
Hey.
Okay. Well, time to leave this room.
You cannot wait that older said? I don't want to discuss it.
I think I might have been right about Aloth.
Aye?
You want to talk Aloth? No, he doesn't.
Not a problem.
We'll go up. Maybe they want to talk in a minute.
Hey.
Now, there is more to explore down here, but I think we want to just head up and finish our quest. And maybe head back to Redrick's hold, and then come down here again. Okay. Keep going, keep going.
Aye, you're right. No sense listening to that old Bampart. Damned Virago, not now!
Virago? We have a name. Okay. Right. Let's head over here.
I felt Meerwald's passing. You slew him.
He gave me no choice.
It saddens me to hear it. But part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in darkness. This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will all its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Meerwald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands, it could be so much more. If you had only seen it in its day. Will you stay?
Well, Meerwald said I must go to the City of Defiance in search of the Queen. Oh, you don't have voice acting for this bit? The energy seems all at once to drain from the air. I see. If it's Defiance Bay you speak, I'm sorry to tell you you've come a long way for nothing. The eastern barricade collapsed decades ago and Meerwald never got around to rebuilding it. The road here is a dead end. He got as far as gathering materials before his mind became preoccupied. I could make arrangements to have it repaired if that is your will. When it has ceased to be the previous master's will, I became powerless to do anything about it. For what am I but the master's instrument? It would take time, but far less than finding another route to Defiance Bay. How do I repair it? Meerwald set aside materials for the Barbican, and they are still available to you. In future, if you wish to make further repairs to the keep, we will need coin for supplies and labour. What does being the master of Caed Nua entail? Why, there are many responsibilities involved in maintaining a keep. The extent to which you wish to get involved is entirely up to you, of course. Part of the reason I am here is to ensure that things run smoothly in your absence, provided we have been given instruction. If you instruct me on which repairs you wish to conduct next, I will make the necessary arrangements. How? How will you make the You're a statue. And let's not go into that. These may take some time to finish, but each will provide you with additional resources once they are complete. Given somewhere to place them, we can hire tradesmen to provide you with supplies or ingredients. Repairing the keep will raise your prestige and draw both helpful individuals and unwelcome attention from bandits and opportunists. If we can raise the keep's security in turn, these will become far less of a concern. You should know, however, that the position does come with some risk. Your name will grow in fame, and you must contend with threats to the keep. And then there are other things. Was there anything else, my lord? What did you mean when you said this keep was cursed? Merwold's curse was his own, a watcher's curse, but his predecessors have not fared better. There is a presence within the keep, or rather far beneath it. At least, such has been the conclusion drawn by all those who have come to this place. But what spirits still linger in the endless path oft speak of a master below? Every effort to settle there has failed. From time of our Ederian colonists onward, beasts rise from the endless paths until a new lord or lady is no more. The one who dwells below, this master, does not tolerate rivals, it seems. I have seen from time to time intrepid explorers descend to lay claim to what answers they can, but none return. This is the force which has kept Caed Nua a barren ruin and robbed me of my hopes. The endless paths, that, my friend, is where I must go. We must go if you will go with me. Whatever devils lie beneath, to think of the knowledge we will find. Perhaps this master speaks Ederian. What are the endless paths? The endless paths of Od Nua. That is the name given to the labyrinth beneath the keep. The Earl, we were warned by the Linfathans that this site was cursed, and there is a legend attached to it, though at the time we thought nothing of it. The ruins were built, it is said, by a powerful Ingwathan named Od Nua, who ruled there until his people turned against them. They destroyed his endless paths, and filled many of the upper tunnels with soil and stone. No one living knows how far down the tunnels stretch, and few who have ventured there have returned. There is much talk of riches and treasures. The promise of Ingwathan relics alone has drawn many fortune seekers. To their deaths, I fear. Who is this master below? I cannot say with certainty, but I believe it must be tied to the man said to have been the architect of the endless paths, the Ingwathan tyrant Od Nua. Some claim his spirit endures, or at least has lain a curse upon the site. I cannot imagine much remains of his work, for the ruins have been here 1,000 years or more, but what is left is impressive. The Earl certainly thought so. You may have seen, while below, the hand of a great statue Od Nua constructed. Perhaps it is the statue of Od Nua himself. But I am not the master of Caed Nua? Of course you are. The keep would have no other, but the endless paths are a different thing entirely. It is unfortunate, really, that they are so closely intertwined. If the master below is not dealt with, there will always be a threat to the keep from within. I know it is much to take in, but if you remain, if you be lord of this place, then I can advise you to seek out this foe before it destroys you. I have other questions. Yes, how can I help? Well, I don't really. I'm going to go find this queen in the City of Defiance. You must know, this queen you're looking for, Defiance Bay has no queen. The Mequins of Eder haven't reigned here since the war. The only queen of any power there is Wodika. I'm told they erected an exquisite temple in her honour there, but I was never able to see it. Oh, I'm sure Durance will love that. If you mean to go there, we can get started right away on repairing the Barbican. You only need to tell me what you wish to do and I'll make the necessary arrangements. Merwold kept a ledger as it happened. I've taken the liberty of updating it. You take a look if you wish. Yeah, well, let me see. Then we'll get it underway at once. The steward's voice belays like giddy excitement. No, my lord, that this is the first and least of a great many undertakings. The keep supported a great many buildings and servants for many years. If you should wish, we can repair some of the outlying structures, and these will bring you wealth and recognition, drawing people to your service, rebuilding the defences that will keep your grounds from becoming overrun, as you did under Merwold's keeping. You need not choose all at once. I am pledged to your aid, and so long as you are master here, we shall always be linked. You need not step upon these grounds to speak with me. Whenever your travels may take you, speak your will known to me, if you but reach out. Oh, but at first the Barbican. So, we are going to purchase the Eastern Barbican. The Eastern Barbican gates passage to the wooded plains, the crossroads between Caed Nua, Dyrwood, and Defiance Bay. Okay, that gives us 1 crown and 2 unlocks. I don't know what that means, but we'll purchase it. Also purchase some other things if we want. We have the money. We could purchase the Bright Hollow Restoration, allowing us to rest there. Other upgrades can unlock from resting bones. Yep, definitely. Sounds good. Main Keep? Yeah, we'll pay for a Main Keep upgrade, allowing you visitors and adventurers to be available to you and your companions. Oh, we can only do 1 at a time? Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll leave it. That's just our status. That's our actions. Those are upgrades. So finished in 2 days in game. Then we could hire companions if we wanted to. And we have 1 crown and 2 unlocks. Oh, that's security. Okay, and prestige. I understand. So this one get prestige means that we have how many upgrades we have, I think. Or like that's our prestige level, and this is our security level. Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay. Kana wishes to speak to us.
I confess, I was hoping our meeting with Merwold would go a little differently. But then, you have gained an entire keep. I don't think I've seen anyone inherit land that quickly since Kyne the Younger read her father's will.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it appears I'm one of the gentry now. I wonder what the Dyrwood would... I wonder. I think the Dyrwood would be slow to call you Thane or even Lord. Not that you don't deserve the titles. But these things are always complicated. Still, in practice, you're king of the keep.
It will give you a base from which to go searching at least. And then, there are secrets beneath the keep yet. With you at the helm, it should be easier to explore the endless paths.
Easier? That implies he's already tried. Okay.
Hey.
I just want to check our quest log quickly. Now. We had one in here. Fragments of a Shattered... Bring Eder to speak with Merwold. Eder will have to decide how to proceed from here. Eder?
Hey.
Want to talk? Eder scratches his head and smirks. Well, I guess talking to a crazy watcher is better than talking to no watcher at all.
What's on your mind? And makes 2 of us.
See if there's anything else he wants
What's
to talk
on your
about.
mind?
He doesn't. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to end the episode here. And yes, thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.